Hi, Eric here. This morning, Simai and I are in a Tuk Tuk, which if you're a tourist is the best way to get around Phnom Penh. So watch this video and we'll walk you through everything that you need to know about Tuk Tuks. If you are in Cambodia, anywhere, Phnom Penh, Siem Reap, anywhere, you are going to see this kind of Tuk Tuk everywhere. This is the standard Cambodian Tuk Tuk, very similar to what you'll find in India, Egypt, and in many other places in the world. They are very inexpensive, and the way that you are going to get one is if one is driving by you, all you have to do is hold your hand out and go like this, like you are in Thailand, or like this, or anything. And these people are always on the lookout for new fares, and so they are going to come and stop and get you. So the best thing about these is, again, they are very common. They are absolutely everywhere. They are not very expensive. The only thing I'm not a big fan of with these is the legroom. So if you are a taller person, if you're not like Asian sized, you may find that your knees are kind of right up against the bar here, and you don't have a lot of room to spread out, unlike some of the other kinds that you're going to see here today. But still, it is highly recommended that you try one of these Tuk Tuks because they're just very nimble, very agile, great way to get around. If you like this style of Tuk Tuk, but you're like me, you're a little bit taller, you're a little bit longer legged, then you might enjoy a Maxima Tuk Tuk. And the difference between the Maxima and the regular Tuk Tuk is that you have more leg room. You can actually get inside with relative ease, and you can stretch your legs out quite a bit. So there's a lot more room. It's got the two doors that you can open and close very easily. And usually on the front, the ones with the bigger room are going to say Maxima on both the front and the back. So, but other than that, it's just the same. It provides maybe some superior rain protection compared to like a Remorque Tuk Tuk. And so it's a great alternative, and it's pretty much the same price as the smaller, less legroom Tuk Tuks. So highly recommended for this type. This is the Remorque style Tuk Tuk. It's kind of like a horse-drawn carriage, but instead of a horse, you're using a motorcycle. Now this is my favorite kind of Tuk Tuk, because you have by far the most leg room of all kinds of Tuk Tuks. Look at this. You can stretch even my legs all the way out. You also have further seats. These can often roll down so that you can put all kinds of other things right here. On the front, you can carry easily, very comfortably, 4 people. 2 here, 2 here, and believe me, you can fit more than that if you need to. Also, because it's so open, you get the best views, and you also happen to have the most airflow, so this is the coolest way to go. Literally the only downside is that if it rains, there's not much protection unless they roll down these flaps. But if it's not raining, this is always the best kind of Tuk Tuk if you can find them, because they're unfortunately getting more rare, and a lot more people are taking the Maximas and the traditional Tuk Tuks. But this is the kind that we always try to get whenever possible. The motorcycle is often just a Honda Wave or a Honda Dream, or in this case, looks like a Dalam, anywhere from like 100 to 125 cc. You would be very surprised how much weight one of these little motorcycles can pull. Here in Cambodia, the amount of stuff that they pull with a motorcycle is incredible. And so because it only connects right here, you can do very sharp U-turns. And yeah, these are just the best Tuk Tuk. So if you have the opportunity, definitely take a Remorque Tuk Tuk. Now, one thing about this kind of Tuk Tuk, but this is really true about all Tuk Tuks, is that if you are in a Tuk Tuk, don't just put your bag right here. Because what's going to happen, and this has happened to plenty of people I've known already, is people will just come along in the motorcycles, which are much faster. They'll reach around, they'll grab your backpack, and it will be gone. And everything in it will be gone. So if you're riding in one of these Tuk Tuks, just be sure that you have it here between your legs or holding on to it. Don't lean it out, just don't leave it right here. Tuk-tuks that are coming from the countryside don't always have these cages here along the side, and so they get added. And tuk-tuks that are kind of from the city, they tend to have welded cages put in here. But these are very comfortable tuk-tuks, and it's great just to lay back and just enjoy your ride, enjoy the view, enjoy the breeze. So if you get the chance, in my opinion, this is the kind of tuk-tuk that you want to take. If you're a new traveler or you're just new to Cambodia in general, rather than haggle with the tuk-tuk drivers, the best thing to do is to use this app you see here on the screen, which is Grab. So imagine I want to go to Central Market, which is close to where I am here on the riverside. Here are the prices with 4,100 real equaling $1. So that means that if you look at the Grab Tuk Tuk, that's the smallest, most common Tuk Tuk, it is slightly less than $1. It's about 95 cents. Very, very cheap to go about 1.5 kilometers. It'll save you some trouble for sure. Then if you want a Maxima, it's only 300 real more at 4,200 real. That is such a low price, it's such a low increase where it's still basically just $1, but you have way more leg room. At the bottom you have the Grab Remorque, which has even more legroom and even better for a mere fraction of $1 more. So you might as well just take the Remorque if it's available, although sometimes if you're not in one of the central areas, the Remorques are kind of far away, but the Maximas are always close by. You can even take a Grab car for $1.50 or a Grab SUV for about $1.75, which is just an unimaginably low price. If you would rather haggle and not use Grab, just make sure that you are haggling and deciding your price before you get into the carriage. Never after, and never after you get there. Agree on the price beforehand. This $1 trip, they will probably ask $4, $5, sky's the limit, and so you've got to haggle it down. I'm not saying you should haggle it down so that these people don't make any money. They are often struggling with money, and so you don't want to be too cheap about it, but you should expect to pay 2 to 3 times as much, especially if you look like you are a tourist or don't live there. So just be prepared for that. Grab is probably easier. So now I'm going to actually go somewhere from Riverside. I'm going to go to IBC, the bookstore near my home. I am not at Angry Birds Bar, so you got to move the pointer a little bit, and there we go. It's around 6,400, and here's all the tuk-tuks in the area. I've chosen a Maxima, and somebody picked us up, and you can see here that they're very close and will arrive soon. When they arrive, you just want to make sure that this is your tuk-tuk and not for somebody else or just a random tuk-tuk. So you're going to say, are you Grab? And then you're going to say your name. I am going to tip for sure. It's going to be 10,000 real instead of 6,400 real. It's 75 cents as a tip. It is a pittance to you as the passenger. But to the local Cambodians, it could mean a lot, especially if everybody would tip just a little bit. It would really add up for them in a country where the average income is between $1,000 and $2,000 per year. So, don't be a cheapskate. Give them a little bit of tip. It's really going to help them out a little bit in the long run. Anyway, here comes the tuk-tuk.
Hi, Grab.
Well, that's everything that you need to know about getting around Cambodia by tuk-tuk. It's fun, it's easy, and don't be afraid to try it. It's a great experience. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and have a great day.